Welcome all of you. Myself, Dr. G.N. Bakde, Associate Professor in the Department of Physics, Rayesh Shikshan Sanstha's SSJM College, Kopargaon. Now, in today's lecture, we see some of the points, some of the article in chapter 2nd. Name of the chapter is Work and Energy. Now, in today's lecture, we see what is meant by the work, or when we say that work is done. Second is kinetic energy, and third is work energy theorem. Now first we see what is meant by work done, or when we say that work is done. So for this, consider first three example, that is man is pushing a car, second is cyclist pedaling a cycle, and third one is coolie lifting a load. So if you see all these three examples in which we observe that force exert which produces a motion, which produces a displacement, and so we say that there is a work done. So all these three examples, force exert produces a motion, that is a displacement, and so we say that work is done in three examples. Now if we take a set of second example, that is man tries to push the wall, and second is child tries to push a heavy stone. Means heavy stone is pushed by child and wall is pushed by man, or man tries to push the wall. So in both example we say that wall is very heavy and stone is very heavy as compared to the man and child. So in both example, even though they apply the force, so both are unable to move it. As there is no motion, there is no displacement, so scientifically there is no work. And so from these two examples, that is first three in which there is a displacement and another two there is no displacement, we say that work is said to be done when only a force applied by body or on body makes the body to move it, or there is a displacement in the body. Means whenever there is no displacement, we say that there is no work, or whenever there is a displacement, we say that work is done. Now this is the conclusion of all these two examples, and from this we define a work. So work is defined as product of magnitude of force and distance through which body moves in the direction of force. Means it is a product of force into displacement. Now if we apply, we find the formula for this. If we apply a force F on a body, and if this force produces a displacement through the body S symbolically in the direction of force, then as per definition of work, W is equal to F into S, where W is the work done, F is force, and S is displacement. Now unit of work, as we are familiar with that, there are two systems of unit, SI and CGS. So unit of work in SI system is joule and in CGS system is erg. So joule, which is Newton meter or kg meter second square, and CGS unit is erg, which is dyne centimeter, not air meter. So this is dyne centimeter or grams centimeter seconds, grams per second square. So from this we define what is meant by the 1 joule, or work is said to be 1 joule, or work is said to be 1 erg. Now there are two definitions. So first we see the definition of 1 joule, when 1 joule work will be there. So for this we take equation number 1. In equation number 1 we put force as a 1 Newton, displacement as a 1 meter, then work will be 1 joule, and from this we define a unit 1 joule. So work done is said to be 1 joule if a force of 1 Newton produces displacement in the body by 1 meter in the direction of force. Similarly, we use the same formula again, W equal to F into S. We substitute force 1 dyne and distance is 1 centimeter, then work done will be 1 erg, and from this we can define 1 erg. Work done is said to be 1 erg if a force of 1 dyne displaces a body through 1 centimeter in the direction of force. Now also we must know the relation between joule and erg. Again we use the definition W equal to F into S. So again work will be 1 joule. So when force is 1 Newton and displacement is 1 meter. Now you are familiar with that 1 Newton equal to 10 raised to minus 5 dyne. We have already proved this relation. So convert this meter into centimeter, that is 100 centimeter. So 1 joule will be 10 raised to 5 into 10 raised to 2, so 10 raised to 7 ergs. So this is important relation, 1 joule equal to 10 raised to 7 erg. Now next article we are going to see, that is kinetic energy. So first we see what is energy. So energy of body is its capacity to do the work. Means work done capacity, we call this as a energy. So again, energy is of different forms. There are many forms of energy like electrical form, mechanical form, heat form and light form. Means it is of different form: electrical, mechanical, heat or light energy. But as our course is related with mechanics, so we only see the mechanical energy. But in mechanics, mainly concerned with mechanical energy, that is also called as a kinetic energy and potential energy. Means these two energies, energy possessed by body by virtue of its motion, we call this as a kinetic energy. When your body is in motion, then due to motion the energy possessed by body is known as a kinetic energy. Now kinetic energy is a scalar quantity having a unit joule in SI and erg in CGS system as that of work. Kinetic energy of body depends upon velocity, and velocity can be changed by applying force. That is, kinetic energy of body can be changed by applying force. Now we can find the formula for this kinetic energy, that is kinetic energy is equal to 1 half mv dot v or 1 half mv square, where m is the mass of body. Now if you differentiate this equation, kinetic energy equation, with respect to t, that is a dk by dt, k is kinetic energy, so 1 half as it is. Now we use v dot v, that is u into v. So first v is constant, dot derivative of second, that is dv by dt. Now again, so this is the differentiation, v dot dv by dt plus derivative of the first dv by dt into dot second is constant. So 1 half am, so this is 2 times v dot dv by dt, or 2 gets cancelled, and this will be mv dot dv by dt, or finally dk by dt will be v dot m dv by dt. Now according to Newton's second law, force is nothing but mass into acceleration, or mass which is acceleration is nothing but dv by dt. So above equation becomes, this will be dk by dt, which is equal to v dot f. So m dv by dt is nothing but f, and we are familiar with that dot product of any two vector, say a dot b, which is equal to ab cos theta. So same way here we apply, v is the one vector and f is another vector, and this is dot product. So dk by dt, which is equal to vf cos of theta. Now theta is the angle between v and f, and f cos theta is tangential force acting on body. So this is known as a f cos theta, which is equal to ft, that is tangential force. Hence this equation number 2 becomes dk by dt, which is equal to vf cos of theta, or we say that ft into v, that is v is the velocity, equation number 3. So what is the conclusion from this equation? So conclusion first is that if kinetic energy of body changes, if speed of the body changes, and it happens only when force acting on body has a tangential component. If the force acting on body is perpendicular to the direction of velocity, then kinetic energy of particle does not changes. Now if f and v are perpendicular to each other, then what will happen? dw will be f dot ds, or f v dt, that is 0, and kinetic energy does not changes. Now for example, if you take a example, when body is moving along a circular path by connecting it to a string of length L with other end of string fixed, then the tension in the string is always perpendicular to the velocity, and hence work done by the tension in the string is 0, and hence kinetic energy of body remains constant. Now we see the third article, that is work energy theorem. Now statement of this work energy theorem is that work done by force acting on body is equal to change in its kinetic energy. Means work done is equal to change in its kinetic energy. Now we prove this, or we uh, simplify this statement, or to understand this statement we consider some equation. Now for this, consider a equation. So consider a body of mass m which is at rest. Let a constant force F applied on body which displaces this body through distance ds in time dt in the direction of force. Then according to the definition of work done, this will be dw, which is equal to f dot ds, or as this is a dot product, so f ds cos of theta. Now as displacement is in the direction of applied force, hence angle between force and ds is 0, that is theta equal to 0, and so cos of 0 will be 1. So work done will be dw, which is f ds. So according to again Newton's second law, force is nothing but mass into acceleration, or mass into acceleration is rate of change of velocity. So using this value in above equation, we write dw, which is equal to mass into acceleration into small displacement. So again we use m as it is. So acceleration is nothing but rate of change of velocity, that is dv by dt, and ds is at same. So again we write this dw, which is equal to m dv ds by dt, means this divided term dt we have written on a denominator of ds. So as per definition, ds by dt is nothing but v, that is speed. So we can write dw work done, small work done will be mv into dv. Now work done by force, in order to increase the velocity u initial to final v, can be find out by integrating this, that is work done. If we change the velocity u to v, this will be mv dv. So as mass does not changes, so we write w equal to mass can taken outside the integral, so u lower limit, v upper limit, v dv. So w will be m, so integration of v will be v square divided by 2 lower limit upper limit. Now we can solve this integral upper limit lower limit. So first upper limit minus lower limit, so 1/2 m, so upper limit is v square minus lower limit is u square. So if we separate this term, this will be w equal to 1/2 mv minus 1/2 mv square minus 1/2 mu square. So this is the change in kinetic energy, and this is the theorem, that is work done w is equal to change in kinetic energy. So this is final kinetic energy and initial kinetic energy. So this is about this work energy theorem. We will stop here and we continue in next lecture. So thank you.